I want to say to you, my man, as your reverend, I want you to keep on keeping on. Victory is in sight. It may be so high you can't get over it. It's so wide you can't go around it. It's so deep you can't go under it. You got to go in the gate. I'm gonna tell you, in conclusion, he who sits on the red hot stove shall surely rise.
Thank you for taking the time to listen, to join me for the podcast. This is unbelievable time period just for us to have this and just be able to talk to the people, talk to the young ones, and just have some kind of forum for them to discuss these kind of issues. First thing first, I'm going to go straight into our poems of struggle. This comes from the brother Tupac. This poem is Memory of Yusef. This poem is addressed to Mrs. Hawkins, who lost her son to a racist society. I am not out to offend the positive souls, only the racist dogs who lied to me. An American culture plagued with nights like the night Yusef was killed. If it were reversed, it would be the work of a savage, but this white killer was just wrong-willed. But Mrs. Hawkins, as sure as I'm a panther with the blood of Malcolm in my veins, America will never rest if Yusef dies in vain. This poem was out for Yusef Hawkins that was murdered out there in Brooklyn back in the early 90s. We need to understand that this pretty much is the same story of what's occurring with these brothers now. We have to continue to just build with each other, have dialogue, no matter the race, no matter the culture, so we can have some way to end this kind of just senseless nonsense, because we're not going to be beneficial in no kind of way on both sides. Going into particularly support these brands, please. Support the film Money and Violence. The show is on this title. You can download that. Also, it's available on YouTube. Just type in Money and Violence. Mini shows. Very beneficial storyline. Brothers coming out of Brooklyn, give them a chance. Books as far as we need to support is a book Soul on Ice by the brother Eldridge Cleaver. Please give this a shot. This just gives many opportunities for people that are incarcerated, things like that, would benefit from reading this, because it just gives you the breakdown of when this brother was locked up and everything else. Very good read for the youth as well, to keep them out of the nonsense. As far as clothing, please support Jafari Beads. Jafari Beads coming out of the Baltimore area. Very beneficial product. Give them a chance. Go to ShafariBeads.BigCartel.com. Without any less, I'm going directly into my guest. This brother I've been listening to for so long talk about the Sunday chicken and Rikers and things of that nature. I appreciate everything about this brother, and he is my brother. That's why I needed to have this conversation and many communications to get him on this podcast. Pete, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, man, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate that. I love all that positivity in the beginning about supporting brands and supporting things that, that essentially who would have ever thought done so easily, and most people don't do them. And what I mean by that is like Money and Violence. These kids took a camera, a DSLR, simple camera, one boom mic, and, to me, made history from Brooklyn and made people say, like, damn, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I need to be doing some shit like this. Because, it's inspiring, man. I'm so happy it came out of Brooklyn, just from being a Brooklyn night, but for the most part, just seeing some boys, like, put a camera and a boom mic together and make the whole world excited for what's next,
Exactly, Pete. But then you can go in the same aspect of that, Pete. Wasn't it as simple as when it was back then? It was very organic with just putting a microphone, plugging the freaking plug into the freaking thing right there where you the electrical post in New York City. You just plug it right in, and we got the music bumping, and we got the cardboard and people breakdancing. It seems like that was much more joyous back then. The block parties, the music. It's much more commercialized now. Do you see that ever coming back, those kind of organic time periods, Pete?
I mean, I hope so, because I'll be honest with you, in this day and age, and I'm not a person that ever tries to sound old, but I feel like there's so much more at everybody's fingertips, and people do less. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much outside, people stay inside. It's so easy to find out information, people take a long time to do that. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, I feel like, in my opinion, I just feel like a lot of this world today has too many options. And you know, and as a parent, I think what happens is we try to give these kids the best of everything. But what we do is we wind up spoiling them. We try to give them everything we didn't have. You know what I mean? So I guess, you know, I hope it doesn't go back to that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that parent or just friend or brother or whoever you're just trying to raise, you know, try to give them what you didn't have, and definitely try to take care of them, but also try to teach them. So try to make them understand to be happy. You know, just the simple things in life. That's what I think it is.
Thank you. And Pete, honestly, this show basically keep it 100, bro. So I always just keep it 100 with the people. You're a very good inspiration, bro. You helped me out just getting this whole podcast going, just being the kind of individual you were on the Combat Jack show. And
Absolutely.
And I want you to understand that, because it's like, even with the show you're doing currently, when you did work with the brother and you and him were on point and everything was going, that show was unbelievable. I don't know what's going on currently, but pretty much with the situation. But as far as the past, you are an unbelievable piece to that show, and you're also doing it with your venture you're doing now. But as far as it was going, I know with your history, you were incarcerated, brother, in that time period. Would you ever think you would be in the situations you now back when you were incarcerated?
To be honest with you, no. And you know, getting incarcerated was a dark time in my life. And I think that sometimes as human beings, we strive for the future, but we're stuck in what's in front of us. You know, we hope to be better in time, but we deal with the fucked up situation or the great situation, whatever that may be in front of us. You know, I think so many, like, I'm a victim and also a person of somebody who I need to get better. Even though I've done a lot of things, I've helped a lot of people, I'm proud to make a turnaround, but I need to get better as far as, like, too many times we look back instead of look forward. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when I was away, you know, there were some tough times, and I never thought that I would be where I was today, but I still got work to do. But I think I've done that just by being myself, just by being organic, just by being, you know, just, it's tough, man, because, you know, when you're a hustler from New York and life comes at you quick, you know, turning your life back around is a tough job. And that may sound weird to regular people who've been working all their life. When you hustle and you got to make slow money, it's tough, but it's sure money. You know, and I think that, you know, there's so many times you can give up. Like, when I came home, there was like 15 kids that were stationed to parole in the city. You know, you come home with certain people, and then those people you come home with, you know, they're stationed to parole. So every one of them went back like 3 months later. I never went back. You know, I've been home for almost 12, 13 years. I never went back. I got on parole early because I stayed home. When they came to my door, I was there. You know, I guess the point I'm making is even though I'm saying I didn't foresee me to embark on many journeys that I embarked on, but then I got to sit here and give myself credit because I put the work in to do that. I made sure I didn't go back. I made sure that I connected and I stayed, you know, true to my relationship. So, you know, I mean, you never know what life brings you sometimes, but let's be ready. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I know it was tough as far as when you came home. You had your daughter at that time period. Was it also difficult just when you came home to rekindle the relationship with your daughter and also actually have the friendships that you had with people inside of like a criminal enterprise? Like when you were doing your criminal stuff that was still trying to maybe put you in that direction, Pete? Was it tough?
Yeah, it was tough. It was definitely tough. And I feel like to be wholly, true-heartedly honest and keep it 100 with you, my daughter is the reason for me changing my life. My daughter is the reason for a lot of things. That's one thing you got to love about kids. Even sons are beautiful. You know, I got a 1-year-old, so I'm learning to enjoy that. But I haven't really experienced it yet. I look forward to it. But as far as like crazier dudes than me in the streets running that have changed their life because of their daughter. You know, she was young, so I was able to fit right back in. When I came home, she was young. You know, I did miss the first day of school that she went to, so that shit broke my heart, and I knew I had to change. I knew, you know, when I came home, you know, to stay on parole, I remember I was working at this carpet cleaning company, and I hated that shit. But I knew, you know, I knew that I had to have a job or parole was gonna, you know, violate me. And all I thought about was my daughter. Even the last couple of days before I came home, I had to think of my daughter. Hold on one second.
Yep, no problem.
It's a motorcycle fast. So, you know, you edit your stuff or it's live?
No, you good, brother. I'm edit it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll help you. I mean, I've been around. Hold up. So with missing my daughter's first day of school, you know, that really hurt me. So, you know, it gave me, like, hindsight. I want to give you an example. I smoked Newport for 17 years. You know, I quit about 5-6 years ago because of my daughter. My daughter was like, yo, how you going to tell me to do something and you can't even do it? I've been telling you to quit. When my daughter told me like that, I realized, like, damn, like, you know, she done put me on the spot. I quit cold turkey. You know, and just back to what I was saying about working in the carpet cleaning shit. I didn't want to do it, but I knew that I wanted to stay in my daughter's life, and I knew I wanted to make a better example. And to be honest with you, I knew that I needed to grow up. That's the thing too. Like people ask me, like, you know, like I wasn't always okay. Maybe I was. I was always a knucklehead. You know, when I think about it. Yeah. But I wasn't always a dude that committed crimes. You know, I just wanted quick money. That's the problem. What happens is, you know what I realized? I didn't change until I was probably about 30 years old. And when people tell me, how did you change? Don't get me wrong. My daughter helped me, you know, seeing another life and want to set a good example. I mean, even like back in the day, I remember when I came home, I was fucking with girls, and they were like, yo, I really, really, really got a lot of love for you. You know, I was fucking with them, and then I was like, yo, to be honest with you, you know, go and find somebody. And she's like, what do you mean? And I stopped fucking with them because I was like, yo, you know, I thought about my daughter, and it just really hit me at that time. You know what I'm saying? Where I was like, yo, I'm not trying to lead this girl on. Like, there was girls that would hit me like, yo, what's the problem? What happened? And to be honest with you, it really was just nothing. But most of the time, I would just leave it and not even get back to them. You know what I mean? And then I was like, you know what? For my daughter's sake, just because I don't want a man to ever do that to her, not that that's going to work, but I was like, yo, listen, there ain't nothing wrong with you, girl. There's something wrong with me. I want to be tied down, and I don't want to leave you on. So I guess, you know, bringing it the whole circle, I guess what I'm saying is, you know, having that seed, you know, your blood, and looking at that kid grow up, you know, you want to stay in that bullshit job just to make sure that, you know, you're around for them, but you want to be better. You know, you want to try to treat a lady a little bit different, you know, because that's the thing. And then I think wholeheartedly, what I did was I grew up. That's why I tell people, like, yo, when did you change? I didn't change. I just grew up. It just took me to 30 years old to grow up. But I loved hanging out. I loved jewelry. I loved, I love not being, you know what I'm saying? Like, responsible for, like, I love fast money. You know what I mean? I love, and I guess you gotta grow up, because here's the thing, like, hustling, these dudes want to hustle, man, and you go away and you have nothing. You know? So, you know, it's better, I think, you know, it's better to be able to do things like this, you know, like, you know, be yourself, and, you know, so it's a special moment.
You're doing it, and that's what I said. That's why I respect you so much, Pete. Just being the person that you are, because I never saw you come out of character. You see a lot of people and you watch them, then you interact with them and things of that nature, and they're totally different from what they try to perceive people to think that they actually are. You never did that. You never was a guy that was like extra flashy, and you never was a guy that was like extra want to push the thoroughness on people. You was always just Pete, and that's why I really respect you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate that. You know, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have no other way. Like, you know, and even with Flashy, like, you know, it's funny. On my most recent episode, a couple episodes, I had this jeweler on. He does like Floyd, like jewelry. His name is Mr. Flawless. Dude is really doing his thing. And I'll be honest with you, like, I was telling him, like, I don't wear jewelry. I haven't worn jewelry in years. And I told him why. Why? Because I don't have it like that. Like, I don't like I don't really know back then it meant everything to me. Today, like, yo, things that mean something to me are what mean to me. Like, you know, doing things for my toy, taking them on vacation, making sure bills are paid. You know what I mean? Like, I love doing those little things. Like, you know, I don't know. You know, I guess I love the moment. Not the materialistic things.
But that's what's crazy too. That's a crazy seg, because basically what you're saying, Pete, is the same thing when people are incarcerated. Like you said beforehand, like you would see guys fight over that Sunday chicken because it was the simplest thing, but there was that aspect that kept you for the outside. So it's like those things are really been like big to certain people. And like you said, like now that you're out, it's so crazy that all of this outside shit don't mean nothing, but the littlest things are what's big to you right now.
Absolutely, and I think that's important, and that's important to stay focused, because it's so easy to not stay focused in life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I think that going, and this is not for everybody. Everybody, like, here's the thing too. I don't want people to get twisted. You don't have to go away to understand it. Going away has helped a lot of people see who's there for them, reflect, take a look at their life. You know what I mean? But that doesn't always have to go away. Anybody listening to this, you may have had financial problems. You may have had family problems. Whenever you're down and out, these are the types of things that you can understand. Who's there for you? What are you doing with your family? You know, I guess I would just say, don't judge your success on other people's success. You see somebody winning so much, maybe that ain't your time yet. You know, and that's how I feel, man. And that's how, I want to be happy for people. And the people I really don't care about, I've just learned to just not even pay attention to. You know, because the thing is this, like, somebody else's success is not going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's not going to hurt you. You know, why? That's why I hate, like, I'm a big player in the game, of course. But I hate when people say, like, yo, no dick riding, but I like your podcast. Why am I dick riding? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I tell you that, like somebody may say, like, yo, no dick riding, but I like the way you're doing your thing out here, you know? That ain't no dick riding. That's just digging somebody up.
Exactly.
Because I'll be honest with you, what many people don't realize is not everybody is secure as they come out to be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm secure. I'm very confident. But at the same time, I have many days when I'm not. But I have people around me, family, friends, that believe in me, that make me gain that confidence back. You don't have confidence that's with you forever. You know? The people don't see that, though, because the filters are out there. You know what I'm saying? The deletes are out there. So you don't get to see that, because social media will show that. That's one thing I'll tell you, me and Combat used to always say, that I did admire. Social media make your life look beautiful, but that may not be the case. Keep in mind, you're showing the world what you want them to see. Girl, wake up, take a picture. She don't like it, you just take a different picture. So she's showing you her best.
Yo, Pete, that is crazy. That little thing right there helped me in so many levels. You're so right, bro. It's like that one picture, and it's like 80 pictures, but they picked that one and nobody knows that she took 80 or something. And it's like,
oh man, trust me, man. Let me tell you something. Even with the Premium P show now, you know, my co-host Miss Lissa, you know, a crazy female, dope girl, but when we do the pictures, she looks through them like fucking like with a magnifying glass. I don't like this one. 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 Bitch, put out whatever fucking one. We're gonna put the one out, you know, if you all fucked up. You know, like, this one makes my nose look bad. This one makes my and it's not only girls. That's the thing too. It's not only girls. You know, it's dudes too. You know, trying to flex, trying to, you know, like that's the thing. You know, the other day I tweeted, don't it? You know, impress yourself. Impress yourself. Like real talk, like impress yourself, man. You know, like, yo, honestly, for anybody watching the Olympics and seeing, you know, Phelps, you know, be that god out there, you know, you gotta laugh at that picture. And somebody put a quote out. I love how, that's one thing. As much as I make fun of the internet, I love it's a gift and a curse. I love it, and then sometimes it's funny.
Exactly.
It's bullshit. But somebody put out a quote, and if you look, there's a picture of Michael Phelps focused on hitting that finish line, and the dude right next to him focused on looking at him. So the quote said, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah, that's
t-shirt.
it. That's it. I mean, let me make sure that's exactly the exact quote because whoever's listening, I want them to really understand that. And when you get a chance, look at that picture of Phelps. It's all over the internet, so don't see it. But
I gotta find that shit.
yeah, one second. Let me make sure. Yeah. So it says, yep. Winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. And if you look at the photo, you'll see Phelps literally just so focused, and the other guy focused on him.
Damn, man. And that's what Pete. That just hits everything, and that's what I think society really does. And that's why you said social media is a gift and a curse, brother. Because honestly, I think more people are focused on what the other people are doing and what they aren't doing than what the fuck is going on in their own lives. And that's why it's so fucked up, man.
People like distraction.
You're right. Damn, man. That is crazy, man. So I think you sent it to me now, Leah. Let me check this thing out, man. How funny this shit looks. That is fucking crazy. And it really shows the breakdown. That shows the break. You're right. That shows the breakdown. Damn, man. That is so messed up. But that's society. I guess that's society, people.
That's me, but think about it. Bro, here's the thing. I can't talk to you unless I be real with you. Mm-hmm. I remember back in the day, I grew up in the era, right? Freezing out. Come by, I want you to hear my system. Shout out to LL Cool J for making cars ride by with the booming system. Okay? Mm-hmm. The point I'm trying to make is when I used to drive, the way we drove when I grew up, okay? I'm talking about when I first started driving, the way we drove was looking at everybody looking at us.
Oh, yeah,
you understand?
Exactly.
So what I mean by that is like, we drive by, girls will be looking, or guys will be looking, drive by neighborhoods, people on the corner, people on, you know what I mean? And we drive by with them with the music jumping. And I'll be honest with you, for me, like, I just got new rims on at the time. I had 3 wheels on, them shit was spinning, you know what I mean? And all I was looking for was looking at people looking at, you know what I mean? Looking at like you see that? Oh shit, yeah, they know what it is, you know what I mean? And when I realized that, I'm like, I'm driving around burning gas, but now hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
And when I really thought about it, I was like, I'm driving around burning gas for people's acknowledgement. Man, fuck that shit, man. When I realized that's when Roy Rogers was open back then.
Yeah.
I went there, got me some biscuits. You know what I mean? Went to the Felix's bar, got all that shit.
Yo, Pete, that's crazy that you said that because it's the same thing of what's now, bro. It's like I'll spend $2,000 on some Gucci shoes when my rent not paid and shit like that. You like, yeah, I'm gonna have somebody look at these fucking shoes. But that apartment, I don't know if I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, somebody better acknowledge them fucking Gucci. Make you feel better. Somebody better tell you, man, good shoes, nice shoes. I mean, I get that too with sneakers. So I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we just grew up wanting to be fly. You know what I mean? Want to be fresh. Want to be, and I get that a lot in sneakers too. Like where was I the other? Hold on, let me think. I was dropping off something to like a Goodwill, and there was like 4 teenagers at the door. This was in Jersey. And I gave him 2 bags, and one of the dudes was like, can I help you with that? I'm like, yeah, here you go, here's the bag. And he's like, thank you. I'm like, cool. He's like, dope sneakers, man. And I think I had on some Jordans or whatever. But the acknowledgement is always there. That's, think of how big the footwear company is. Think about it. You know why? Because most people just, it's bottle of self-esteem, man.
You're right. Damn, that's crazy, man. But that is the whole basis of what's going on with the kids too, P. It just seems like it's just everything else. The more mentality. Like it's just the consumer. They just want to consume so much. Like I'm trying to get that into my kids to understand that. Just as far as like starting something on your own. Just don't have all the time trying to gravitate somebody else's wave and just hope that you can make it that way. Do shit on your own, man. Because my son, he watches the little YouTube videos of the people. They got the little YouTubes and they're funny guys and they make little jokes and shit. He's like, I would love to do that. I'm like, what the fuck is stopping you? Like nothing stops for people from doing these things. It's just the basis that they care about what people are looking at. It's like that fucking picture you just sent me, that Michael Phelps shit. That guy's so focused on what the others is doing that he ain't doing shit himself.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And it's almost like, you ever see, I'm sure anyone listening, I'm sure they've seen, you ever seen that picture of people see only the success and not the hard work, and it's like with a carrot,
Yeah.
all the way, it's like, I forget what it is, like something like where it shows just like a carrot tree, but when you dig a little, it's like humongous on the bottom. On the top, it looks amazing.
Exactly. I seen that. Yeah, you're right. And they never see it. Damn, man.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up. Pete.
So, like I said, when you say that, to be honest with you, I think our kids just need a little confidence. What we need to do for the future is really just give them some confidence. I think a lot of us older cats sometimes are too harsh.
You're right.
Like we're kind of like, motherfucker, what you trying to do? Like, nah, like, let them create, let them, like, the thing is, I think that most kids would rather go with what other people are doing than do, something by their own.
You're right.
And the reason why I think that for is, one, is fear, but also it's because they don't have enough confidence. And I think that we need to, we need to be, we need to be wild in this world. And I think by being wild in this world, as older and elder statesmen, we need to accept what they do and appreciate them and kind of like, just really like, root them on,
You're right. Because pretty much that's what they need and they didn't receive, because pretty much
they won't say it, but they do need it. They won't say it.
They need it.
Because I want to give you an example, right?
Yeah.
If you're an older head, right? And if you're an older head and some young kid is doing some dumb shit, and you call him out in front of a group of people, a group of his homies, right?
Yep.
He's gonna probably say like, "Man, fuck you, get the fuck out of here." He's just probably be like, "What do you think?" And it's gonna probably end up in some escalated thing.
Yeah.
If you grab homie and say, "Yo, let me talk to you for a minute," hey, bro, what's up, buddy? Like, look. And you really approach him like, look, honestly, the shit you're doing right here, that shit is dumb. I'm explaining to you why. You get locked up, or you can do this, or this shit don't look good, or you can fuck. And you take that boy under your wing, like, kind of like explain to him that you ain't coming from a perspective of trying to shit on him. You're just trying to peep knowledge in his ears, because this is the future.
You're right.
You understand? And I think, and even the hardest rock in the group, I swear to you, most likely all the time, but, act different when you're speaking to him like that, one-on-one. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And then, that's what's funny too, Pete, because just saying in that scenario, that shit, the hardest rock in the group is usually the one that controls the group. So as his mindset changes, he then changes his crew. So then they start thinking on another level. So you need that, and you're so right. You need to start pulling these kids to the side, having a side conversation, and say, yo, get your fucking shit together. It doesn't have to be cookie cutter, goody bullshit, but you know when you're doing some ignorant criminal shit. Stop doing it, because that is your outcome. Damn.
So, and lend them a Drew. The problem is, here's the problem. And I go through it, but I don't follow it.
Mm-hmm.
We're so stuck in our life. We don't give a fuck about anybody else. I'll be honest with you. I help people get money. Sometimes.
Yep.
I don't even get money. And I don't mean like, wait, let me explain this. I don't mean like I do something to somebody and don't get paid. I'm talking about like where I think of somebody who fits the perfect thing that somebody asked me that I don't do.
Exactly.
And they may get the job and they're doing well and they're doing well. That's karma. You want that shit to come back to you.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people worry about like, damn, I ain't even pay my cell phone bill this month. What I look like helping this dude out getting a job. Because maybe that job is not for you because you don't know how to do that shit. But this man knows how to do it. Look out for him.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right, Pete. You're right. And that's what
I think most people are worried about, like, man, I can't pay my bill. Who gives a fuck about this dude? But I'm saying karma will come back, man. It'll come back to you. And you know that song, it'll come back to you. Come on.
He's like, it's gonna come back. He's like, please just keep giving, helping, everything else. And this is what we need to do. Pete, I enjoyed this whole interview, brother. It was so fun. I needed to laugh today. This was amazing. Is there anything you want to plug, anything you want to tell people about? This is your platform, please.
Oh, man, well, first of all, I appreciate you, reaching out to me and wanting me to come on your show. Pause for coming on your show. But you know what I mean. Like, coming on the show and talking some shit, really just chopping it up with you. Because I think these organic, authentic conversations are what deliver to the audience and really let people know that, you know, it's just real life talk. And, you know, I'm just thankful for people that, you know, want me to come and talk on that platform, and I appreciate that. But as far as, you know, pushing man, I got the Premier Pete Show, man. It's you know, we're about 4 months in. We're really getting off the ground, diversifying guests, man. You know, subscribe to us on iTunes and, you know, SoundCloud, Google Play, all that. You know, local bodega. We out here. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm in the food business, but you got to eat this, and you know, I'm just staying out there, man. Premium Pete, man, just trying to be a great parent, you know, and try to leave more behind, you know, than in this world for, you know, my loved ones and friends and family than I came in with.
Thank you, Pete. Pete, always thank you for being an example of a true dude, man. You are a stand-up guy. I appreciate you, man.
Most definitely, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right, have a good night, Pete.
All right, man.